Welcome back to episode 28 of Hate Your Guts Pod. I'm your host, Elena.
I'm Vivi.
And I'm Haley.
And does anyone have any peaks or pits? What are we calling these now?
Shit and
Shit
tea.
and tea. I did forget to tell you guys that last week I had my first dress fitting.
I feel like every time you say something that you forget to tell us, it's always huge.
Yeah, it's a really big deal.
It was really exciting because I low-key, there was like a whole event regarding picking a tailor between me and my mom, and we got into a huge fight because I like finally picked a tailor, and then she like texted me and was like, I booked an appointment with this girl.
Mm-hmm.
And like I fucking crashed out because I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I just put all this time in. Long story short, I do the girl with my mom. We're talking to her. I'm like, oh, like, did you go to fashion school? And she's like, oh yeah. And I was like, oh, did you go to FITM? Because that's the only one I know. So I'm like, oh, whatever. She's like, no, I went to blah blah blah. She's like, but I was a professor at FITM for like X amount of years. And I was like,
Oh,
Goddamn. Okay.
like in like structure and like fabric and like all these different elements.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, oh yeah, and you know, I worked at Billabong and then Volcom and Roxy and Hurley.
wow.
And I was just like
pretty high positions at those jobs, I'm assuming.
And like for context, she's taking my mom's wedding dress and turning it into a mini dress for me for the reception.
Sweet.
It's like it needs to be taken out in some places, taken in. It's like a full bodice. She's only charging $300 for the whole thing.
No way.
That's really good.
And like I already know her work is excellent. Like I already trust this bitch because I'm like, you taught. So I'm excited.
Yeah, that's really
so
exciting.
But we haven't started the real dress, so I'm like really waiting for that.
Wait, do you have pictures of the original dress?
I do, but like not
Like on?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wait for the next one because it'll actually stay on my body, but it was like a mermaid almost style dress. Not mermaid, but like up by the butt and thigh was fitted, but then it was just straight down.
Yeah,
And
which
she
isn't
had-
really the style that you like, right?
No, and it had like a huge bustle for when she was going down the aisle, but I just want like a little fit and flare mini dress vibe.
Yeah, with cowboy boots,
Mhm,
right?
cowboy boots, and we're keeping like this. It's like a hand beaded bodice,
Cute.
and then we're doing like just plain cap sleeves because right now it's like long sleeves, like
Oh.
fucking beaded everywhere. Like this dress was nuts. You would think it's from the 80s. It's from 96.
Wow. I love beads.
Me too. I'm very excited about it.
That sounds really pretty.
I feel like I was thinking about a shit on my way here and then I forgot it. I don't remember.
I forgot that we do shit and teas until I initiated this this episode. And now I'm like, I have nothing.
It's okay. That means that it's been a solid, uneventful week, which isn't a bad thing, given the year that you both have had.
Oh, my shit would be that my computer is probably done for.
Oh, why?
She will not turn on. She's asleep. She is Sleeping Beauty.
Okay. She needs a kiss from Prince Charming.
Yeah, she needs a kiss from IT. So shout out to Ethan for helping us keep the podcast going.
Oh, we've been using his laptop, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, what year is yours? You said 2011? Or 2013?
2013.
Yeah.
A relic.
My 2017 died last year. Like the screen wouldn't turn on, but the keyboard was lit. So like I knew that it was on, but like I just couldn't see anything. And I went to the Genius Bar and they were like, you could buy a new laptop for like $800 or you could spend $500 to fix what needs to be fixed in this one because it would be a lot cheaper if you had a 2018, but you have a 2017 and it doesn't like have the part that the new one has, or it does have a part that the new one doesn't have or something like that. So it would have cost $500 to fix it. And I ended up getting a new laptop. Shout out to my ex-boyfriend who bought it for me.
That's like my biggest gripe with Apple.
Yeah.
And mine's a MacBook Pro, and like back then they were like fucking like $600, and now it's like almost $2,000 for essentially the same laptop that I have.
My Air was $900.
Yeah, and like there's no point in me getting a laptop unless it's a Pro because I can't do shit for the podcast on an Air besides record it.
Yeah.
So
Peyton. I've never had a laptop. Well, that's not true. It's been a really long time. I haven't had one in my adult life.
Yeah. I mean, you really don't need one for everyday life if you're not going to school. Because when I'm off, like when in the summertime or in the wintertime, I don't really use it very much. Like I don't gravitate towards it.
Yeah. I think the only reason that like I won't just like only have an iPad is the software we use won't let us record on that, but like I could switch that. But also like I feel like file transferring like is so hard without a laptop. Like just a certain size of files, like I don't know. Just sometimes I'm like, I feel like a laptop is easier to me sometimes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we've seen it just in trying to get the video off into the hard
Exactly.
drive.
Yeah.
That can be a bitch. Yeah, that sucks. I'm sorry.
It's okay. So I will just wait for a laptop to fall into my lap, or if maybe my brother will fix my broken one.
Yeah. If anyone wants to, if any wealthy donors are listening and wants to donate a laptop to the podcast,
Yeah.
let us know.
Or just like let us record at your studio for free.
Trisha Paytas, if you're listening. Trisha Paytas, please save us.
It's like Beetlejuice. Trisha Paytas, Trisha Paytas, Trisha Paytas.
I can't believe she was on SNL.
That's fucking I thought she was like the full guest, but it was just like one skit, right?
Yeah, she was just in one skit with Bo and Yang, but she played herself, which I think is
Yeah.
super cool.
It's really iconic.
It is super iconic, and I'm thinking about people like my parents who have no like idea of influencers, or well, she's been on the internet since the internet was what it is now. She was like one of the OG YouTubers. She's been fucking everywhere. She was on Nathan Fielder's show. She was in one of the Eminem music videos. She was on like America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
She was here for like back when Hollywood and LA was cool.
Yeah.
Like back when you wanted to live in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What a legend.
Literal legend. Love her.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any shit and tea?
My shit is that I have finals this week. My for positive things, I don't know if you guys know this, but I just got my AC in my car fixed,
Yay.
which is a really
Congrats.
big deal. It wasn't that expensive. It only ended up being $250, but I also didn't have $250 in the summer to get it fixed, and I didn't know that it was going to be so affordable. Just getting the diagnostic plus the stuff that it needed was $250, which I wouldn't have been able to do before. But it's just kind of like it's both exciting, but then also I have to get some other stuff like that. I need like brake fluid. I need the other stuff I can probably get my dad to do because it's like cabin air filter, like new windshield blades.
The air
stuff like
filter's a
that.
scam. Unless you smell something funky in your car, you're fine.
Yeah, that's what I heard, which is why I've just been putting it off. I do need brake fluid. That's something that's important. Which I was thinking, I was like, maybe that's why people think that I brake really hard because I don't have as much brake fluid or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know what brake fluid does, if I'm being really honest.
No, because what does that mean? I don't know.
Why do the brakes need fluid?
Just stop when I press the thing.
There's also brake pads. Like there's a whole lot happening that I don't think needs to happen if a woman was in charge.
If a woman designed a car.
So true. But it felt so nice driving with my windows up for the first time in like several months.
Well, doesn't this technically was your heater technically broken too?
No, my heater
Oh.
worked, which is what was weird. And I went to here's also part of the shit was that I went to the mechanic on Friday, and then they took all day to call me, and they were like, "This is an electrical issue. You're gonna have to go to somebody else." And they referred me to somebody else, and it was Friday, so I had to wait until Monday to get it looked at. So I went to the other place, and they were like, "We don't have the part that we need to look at your car." They referred me to a third person. So Tuesday, finally, I got to take my car to somewhere new, and then I just got it today.
I didn't even notice you didn't have a car yesterday.
Yeah, I just Ubered. I've just been Ubering. I feel so unemployed. Like I feel so like
I totally could have picked you up because I feel like you got home at around the time I got home.
yeah, I just don't like asking people for things. Because like I could have asked Ethan to take me today.
If I'm ever already driving, it's not going to inconvenience me. You know,
Yeah,
I'm more likely to say yes if I'm already going to be in the car.
I think you're already home. I want to say you're already home
Oh.
because I got out of class at 3:15, 3:30.
Oh, you Ubered from. Oh, I could have taken you to. I could have made it happen for you.
Let community take care of you.
I know. I just feel bad. So I've just been Ubering because I had to go drop it off. Ubered home. Had to go Uber to pick it up.
One time I was literally so drunk in my parents' house that like I asked you what time you were working till to see if you could pick me up on your way home.
There's been times where I've offered and you're like, I'll just Uber.
No, someone drove me home that night, like
Oh, okay.
family.
Mm.
I'm days of Haley Ubering are over. She has no monies.
That's so
Saving for a wedding.
Yeah. Wedding. Girls trip that we want to go on.
Yeah.
So true. Possibly moving.
Oh my god, if they ever even fucking respond to me.
Wait.
Oh, okay,
This is
so
news.
that's like I guess tea, like something exciting is
Should we put it in the podcast? Because people be preying on our downfall. I don't
know
want
what?
anyone to manifest against us.
I am going to put it in the podcast because I know we got some fans out there that will manifest good things for us.
Okay.
And so fuck the haters because we deserve this.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
I was, get my little daily Zillow notification and I see 2-bed, 2-bath, 2.1K, which is like what we pay now.
Yeah, that's really good.
And so I'm like, fuck yeah. I go on the little map. It's across the street,
shut up.
but to the left. So it's like not near like all of the chaos like happening below us. And obviously like Vivi's had her stalker that's like right below us.
Right.
And so I'm like scrolling and I notice that's our property management company.
Oh, same peeps.
But so I emailed them and I was like, hey, we really want to transfer. Like we've been really good tenants for X amount of years, but like this place is actually cheaper than our apartment and it has an extra bathroom and it's bigger.
And there's air conditioning.
And there's air conditioning and a dishwasher.
Oh my god,
and the
life-changing.
There's a pantry cabinet.
The cabinets are wooden. They're not landlord special, painted white. Like they're actually, the kitchen looks nice and there's a window in the kitchen.
Exciting.
Dude, there is a big cabinet like for pantry. Like a real built-in cabinet where we could keep food.
Wow. That's luxurious.
It feels luxurious.
Yeah. And so I basically like said all that and then I was also like, our roommate that lives with us is feeling very unsafe because of XYZ happening. And like we don't really want to have to like make a scene of it. Like we don't want to have to like address this and it's like not enough for the police to take anything seriously. So really it's nothing can be done at this point.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to like guilt them into it. And after my third email following up, he finally responded, was like, sorry, it's the busiest time of the year. We don't normally like let people switch units, but let me talk to the owner.
Why wouldn't you be able to switch units? You guys are month-to-month lease.
Well, because we're trying to get the security deposit transferred. Like we don't want to have to pay any money.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because like that's the issue is none of us have security deposit money right now.
Or first and last month's rent immediately with the security deposit.
Fuck no.
That's insane.
But I've been finding a lot of 2-bed, 2-baths. And I was telling Vivi and Ethan, I was like, it's really making me panic because like it's a good thing. I'm like, fuck yeah, like rent is getting better, like rental market's getting better, whatever. But I was in no way, shape, or form thinking of ever moving anytime soon.
Yeah.
So I was like not at all even preparing to prepare.
The best opportunities are always when you're not ready.
Yeah.
I know, which sucks. Which is why we're really like praying and hoping and
I'm trying to move mountains here.
Yeah, and I like that it's so close because I really like the area that we're in. It's just the specific spot that we're in and like recent events where
it has parking. We forgot to mention that.
It does have a parking spot.
Yeah.
It's right next to a Mexican restaurant also, which I've never been to, but
it has good reviews.
It has good reviews. It's not far from the bars that we go to.
Yeah, that's gonna be the new spot.
Yeah, it could be the new spot. Also the fact like I'm really excited at the prospect of having a bathtub I can use because the bathtub that we have now, it doesn't have sealant, so it feels like dirty. Like the thought of taking a bath there because it can never get cleaned properly.
And there's like little like the reason we know there's no sealant is there's little paint chips.
Yeah. Also, like when I would dye my hair at my parents' house, I would just like Clorox and scrub the shit out of it and it would be gone. But if you like dye your hair in that bathtub, it will be stained for like weeks no matter how hard you scrub.
Yeah. You need like bleach and steel wool. Actually, like the powder bleach and steel wool.
I love Comet.
I love things that smell like they would kill me. So I'm like, it's working.
But like the thought of going to a Lush and buying a bath bomb is so like life-changing for me. That's luxury.
The thought of having 2 bathrooms between 3 people is luxury to me.
I like the idea of getting to decorate my own bathroom.
Yeah.
I don't know what vibe I want yet, but
yeah, Vivi was like looking at bathroom decor before like they even responded to my email.
That's manifesting.
Yeah.
If I've ever heard of it. I'm doing a spell later tonight. Because I'm hoping to do a 2-for-1 passing my classes and trying to get this place secured for us. I have some green candles. Yeah.
Yay. That's exciting. I really hope you guys get it.
Me too.
Yeah, we're on the up and ups. Cars fixed. Possible new apartment that's better. Good stuff.
Possibly working elsewhere. So lots of new exciting developments in our lives.
Working elsewhere. Okay. Is that shit and tea?
Sort of. I mean, just different location.
Just like a little closer to home.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to work at our like very local store because that one's really hard to get into. I think.
Cool. Yay.
Yay.
That's
Yay.
good. Do you have any other shit and tea?
I don't think so. Just trying to hope that I pass my classes this semester. I'm really worried about my Shakespeare class because I am at like a very high C or a very low C, sorry. So if I don't pass my final tomorrow, then I might not pass.
Oh.
But if I do pass it, then I'm probably going to stay at a C or a B.
You got this.
No
I
one,
hope so.
no one has ever asked me for my GPA. I don't even think my master's program cared.
Yeah, I don't even care about my GPA. I just want to pass. Like, please. I think I need a C to pass,
C's
right?
get degrees.
Mhm.
Actually,
Yeah.
it's like a 69.5%. You'll pass.
Okay, good to know. Because I joined in that class late because I was having problems with my registration. And it's already really difficult because it's all like Shakespeare plays that are much more convoluted than, like, I don't know if you guys have ever read A Midsummer Night's Dream or Comedy of Errors, but they're very like confusing plays.
Like one of the only English classes I ever did when I was an English major for a week. I'm kidding. It was a whole semester. After this first Shakespeare piece they introduced, that was the last class I ever went to.
Which one?
I couldn't tell you because I was so much like, this is not for me. I've got to get out of here. I've got to go.
Yeah, it started with Comedy of Errors, which I don't know if you guys have read. It's a lot of Shakespeare plays are like the basis for a lot of main storylines that we hear today. Like if you've heard a Shakespeare, or if you read a Shakespeare play, you're like, oh, I've seen this before in like movies. Like those tropes come from Shakespeare often. But Comedy of Errors is a play where there's two twins that are like lost at sea. Their like ship goes on a rock and it breaks, and each set of twins, like one brother from one family and one from the other, are like separated, but they have the same name. So sometimes when I'm reading it, I'm like, which one is which one? Like it's very confusing and convoluted for no reason. It's like
you're already losing me like in the description. I'm like, yep. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I'm just really hoping that I pass. And it's a lot of like contextual like history information that you need to know, which I'm not good at. I'm not good at learning exact facts. Like I'm good at analysis. I'm good at literary like reading and understanding material. But it's a lot of knowing, like when we're talking about King James, I was like, I only know this because I'm studying for my class. And when he ruled 1603 to 1625, I only know that because of my class. Like I have to learn a lot about like the monarchy and like historical context for the plays, which is really difficult for me to remember.
And things that like you'll never have to know again.
I'm saying,
like I think the American concept of memorizing things to equal intelligence is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think that's part of how they measure IQ too, is your memory.
Which just isn't fair because I only remember things I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah. IQ is illegitimate anyways.
That's true. Fullerton is doing a thing this semester, or I think they're doing it next semester for, I don't know if it's 2025 to 2026 year. But they're not requiring you to take an author specific class if you're an English major, so you won't have to do a Shakespeare class. You're not going to have to do like one author only, which I'm really jealous of. I wish my school did that.
Yeah, that's nice.
But yeah, that's my shit and tea. Just occupied by school.
Cool. Jacob surprised me by taking me to the Getty yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I love the Getty.
Yeah, it
It's
was my
really
first
beautiful.
time. I wish we had more time, and I wish I took more pictures. And I wish that I studied up on a little bit of like Western European history before, because to me, what makes like going to museums and like whether it's artifacts or art, what makes it like exciting and cool and like amazing is like just how old it is, and like knowing the context behind like what was happening
Yeah.
in the world at the time, and like I don't know, that just like gives the piece like a story to me. But I didn't really know, like I was a little rusty on my history.
It's okay.
And so like it was cool to see like a lot of the things that I saw, but I was just like, damn, like I wish I came into this with like a little more knowledge. But it was a cool surprise, and I'm very grateful. It was fun, and I saw Van Gogh.
Yay.
Which
It was
one?
cool. Irises.
very pretty.
Something irises. I don't
Yeah.
know if that's the full name. Do you know?
Is it the green painting? Like the one that has like the green bluish background?
It's like green and blues and purples.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. I don't know. It was cool.
I had a really big Van Gogh phase, or Van Gogh if you're pretentious, when I was in high school. I remember watching. Do you guys ever watch Doctor Who?
No.
I used to love Doctor Who. I was like on Tumblr on the Super Hulock fandom.
I
It
only
was
know
really
that
embarrassing.
one thing, the TARDIS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love David Tennant. He is such a great actor. But for one of the episodes, like I don't know if you guys know the plot of Doctor Who. But the Doctor changes in appearance like every couple of years. And so in this one I think it's Matt Smith, and he just kind of travels through space and time, and he always has like someone with him, like a human, and they travel together and they like see new adventures. And in one of them he Van Gogh is in it, and he brings him because he's like depressed and he doesn't really know like his impact on the world. So they bring him to a museum where he gets to see people appreciating his art, and it's so like emotional.
Yeah,
How
that's
cute.
cool.
But yeah, I was like obsessed with Van Gogh when I was in high school.
Yeah, very cool.
I love the Getty. I feel like it's one of the very few museums in LA that like I can go to multiple times and still very much enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's free, kind of.
It is, right?
Yeah, I
It's
think you just
free,
have
but
to
the
pay for
parking. Yeah, the
Yeah.
parking is $25.
It's not bad.
And I got some art prints.
Mhm.
The small ones were like only $1,
That's
Oh,
really
hell
good.
yeah.
and it's like if you buy 5, you get the 6th free.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. I want to go back. I forgot what I was gonna say. I don't know. That's it.
I want to go to the tar pits. I haven't been in a really long time.
I've never been.
I don't think I've ever been either.
It's fun, you guys. We should go.
I'm so
Yeah.
down.
I love dinosaurs. I loved the Natural History Museum, so I think I would really like the tar pits.
Have you guys been to the interactive museum here that has like the tornado simulator?
No.
Oh my god, I have to ask my mom which one that is. That one's fun.
Okay.
My mom, that's all we did as a kid in the summer because that was free.
Go to
Yeah.
museums.
Go to museums.
I was just gonna
Yeah.
say that's a cheap free activity for us to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back then parking was like $5 or you could find it on the street sometimes.
Okay.
Well, now if we split it, it could be $5 each.
Yeah.
Because now parking is like 25.
Ridiculous.
Yes. Let's save it for summer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did we have a topic today?
No.
We're gonna talk about Luigi.
Oh yeah, the man,
Luigi
the myth,
Mangione.
the legend.
The funniest TikTok I saw was "Move over, Menendez brothers." There's a new hot murderer in town.
Yeah, I'm sure Ryan Murphy is like peeing his pants right now.
Dave Franco is getting a call from him as we speak.
Yeah, he's gonna be real employed real soon.
Yeah. I'm just gonna come out and say it. I don't believe that Luigi fired the gun and killed him. I think he's involved, but I think it was planned that he was going to take the hit.
I agree.
Okay. I am not on the conspiratorial side of all of this on TikTok. I'm just on the side of TikTok that is putting Luigi on a pedestal. And I think he should be up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what the theories are.
So this is just from my own brain. This is like my logic. Number one, you're telling me that you're going to check into a hostel where I'm pretty sure you're aware that there's security cameras. You're going to commit the crime and you're going to flee the state and a few days later still be in the same outfit that you committed the crime in.
Okay.
Like, first of all, that was planned. Like, you
Yeah.
were asking to get caught if you stayed in the clothes that you committed the crime in. Second of all, you're carrying the gun around. You traveled states and didn't think to bury it in the middle of the woods somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Third, you're carrying the handwritten manifesto that is essentially like your one-way ticket to jail.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
It's so unlikely. I think we were talking about this earlier. But he was so careful and everything was so like poetic and thoughtful in the gun that he used. It's used to kill livestock. The Monopoly money in the bag. Just like there was so many like symbolic things that he used, or whoever shot the gun, whoever else was involved. It feels so unlikely to be caught in a McDonald's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, like, okay, the whole thing about like his mom having the back injury and dying and like everyone's being like, oh yeah, it's because they denied all her claims.
Mhm.
This family was damn near the Italian mob in Maryland or whatever the fuck. Like, they owned so much shit. They were so incredibly wealthy that it's like a type of wealth that is past the need of insurance.
Mhm.
Like, you can't convince me on any planet that like they just didn't have the money to get the right care for his mom. So I almost don't feel like that's true.
Okay.
I don't know if I believe that, just because like when I think about my own medical bills, like if maybe they didn't have insurance because they're so wealthy, or maybe depending on whatever insurance they had. But when I think about like when I had appendicitis, I was in the hospital for like 2 or 3 weeks because my appendix had burst, and they were like draining all the abscess fluid, and the bill was like $250,000. And I think for even like, they were not like 1% rich, but they were very wealthy.
But that's like a month's rent for like rich people. I swear to God.
Do you think so?
Like these giant mansions, like think
Mhm.
Kim K size house, like yeah, that's what they're paying a month.
Okay, I don't know then.
It's mainly for me, I'm just like, it's hard for me to believe that like it was like, yeah, there's probably a chance that like maybe they were having trouble like diagnosing her, almost like finding a cause and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard for me to believe that that much anger was harbored just from that.
I think he also had like chronic ailments. I want to say he had
same back thing.
Yeah, he had back issues. And so he couldn't really like do a lot of things that people do. I remember one of them was someone saying that his landlord, I think, said that he wasn't able to be physically intimate with people, which is like, why does your landlord do that?
Yeah, also, why were you not speaking to your family the past like year or whatever?
Yeah. I think that if anyone is to have a mental break and kill somebody, it's better to kill a CEO than shoot up a school.
I agree.
So I feel like that is, I think, I don't know. Is that going to start a trend? I don't know. One thing I will say about his like political stance is I do think it's good that he's not left leaning, solely for the fact that I think that that would villainize the left. Like if like a Fox News anchor were to talk about him, I think that it would villainize people who are left in ideology, because they can easily just be like, well, the left is like shooting people and killing people, which people on the right do all the time, but that's not how they ever acknowledge it. And I do think it can be more accessible to people, the fact that he's like libertarian right wing, basically, because a lot of people, there's such a stigma about being leftist or socialist or communist. I think people are more willing to hear or understand other perspectives.
Okay, this is where I get conspiratorial, because I'm like, I think he was framed to be in that like of that political like party, because also like it's, I think it's a good thing that he's white.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he was a person of color, people definitely would have been like, oh, this fucking terrorist. Like,
yeah, he would have been stereotyped as whatever race if he was a person of color.
Yeah, and they also, even if he was a brown person or black person, like people still would have called him a socialist or whatever. What else were we gonna talk about?
But yeah, I just, back to the whole, I don't think Luigi did it, but I think he's involved. Like, I think it's a team.
I agree.
It feels very, very thought out. It feels like it's been something that was just waiting for someone to say go.
Mm-hmm.
Because my first thought was kind of like, you just knew where this one specific CEO was going to be at what time on what day.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you weren't.
What if Luigi is part of Anonymous?
Do you also know that apparently the CEO that got shot owed money to the Chechen mob?
The what?
No.
The Chechen mob, the Russian mob.
I did not know that.
Ethan told me this, so I have no idea how credible that is, you guys. But like, again, we're not a factual podcast.
Just spreading misinformation. That's as so always.
Funny.
We spread rumors here.
Yeah. Keep saying it. Let it catch on.
Have you seen that everyone's been like, it wasn't Luigi, it was Robert Paulson or whatever?
No,
who is that?
It's from a movie, and it's basically like they blamed something on like this guy, Robert Paulson or whatever. It's not a real person. Or it's like a real person in the movie, maybe. Never seen the movie.
I love that he might plead non-guilty. I think that's pretty
His
slay.
lawyer said he's pleading non-guilty to every charge.
Period. I think it's going to be hard to find a jury that isn't like affected by this case or has a strong opinion about it, especially in is it New York that they're doing the case?
Pennsylvania.
He's going to be tried in Pennsylvania for essentially having the stuff on him,
Yeah.
but then he has to get charged in New York for the murder, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just, like, everyone has been affected by privatized healthcare or knows people who have or have, like, strong opinions about it. Like, it's going to be really difficult to find a jury that isn't biased.
Right.
Yeah. Is that when things go to the Supreme Court? How does that work?
Honestly, I don't know. I
There's
hope
just a bunch
not.
of moves.
I was like mid-sentence and I was like, this sounds stupid.
But also, like, is it?
Like, who takes care of these things when they're... I guess, like, they did it with OJ and shit, though.
Yeah, there was still
I
a
don't
jury
know.
on that case, I'm pretty sure.
There was, yeah.
But yeah, one thing that I thought was interesting was that a lot of news outlets were calling this like saying that he was assassinated and saying that Luigi was an assassin, which I think is really interesting because they don't use that word often unless it's like a powerful figure. So you guys like acknowledge the fact that CEOs are powerful figures. Like when a normal everyday average person gets killed, no one says they were assassinated. They were
Yeah.
murdered.
What is the context in which you would? Yeah.
I don't know. Are you admitting that we're in an oligarchy? Possibly.
Weren't people calling him? Didn't they like give him a name, like the blank?
What do you
Girl, the killer.
Girl, the killer. Assassin. I want to know what assassin means.
But one interesting thing also is like the Perry shooting. Like, is it Curtis Perry that just shot or strangled a homeless person or killed a homeless person?
I have not heard about this. I don't know what you're talking about.
We'll have to look this up.
Okay.
But this is another murder case that was going on, and the different context in which a homeless person gets murdered and a multimillionaire gets murdered, like the way that they're framing both stories is very different.
Interesting. The fact that I haven't heard about the homeless person getting murdered is crazy.
I did see about this actually, how
Yeah.
he's not being charged.
He's not being charged.
Assassinate means to murder by sudden or secret attack, often for political reasons. A plot, like example, a plot to assassinate the governor.
Oh, well, that is.
But-
So
assassination.
political or religious,
Mhm.
they said. Or in parentheses it says murder an important person.
But I think you could say that about a lot of killings where there's like police brutality in terms of like killing people of color. You could say that's political, but they never do.
Maybe it's premeditated murder, because I think that's the only way I would use it. I wouldn't be like, oh, he assassinated him, like he
Yeah.
shot him in the middle of the day on random, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I had something else in my head. Never mind.
I've been seeing a lot of really funny tweets about it. One thing that I liked was like the discourse about him not being leftist, and a lot of people were like, yeah, maybe if he read more theory, he would just like start a book club and not actually do something.
I feel like assassinating a political figure, like a rich billionaire political figure, is inherently leftist. I don't
I
know.
would agree with that.
It's a very radical action, I would say. But I've seen, like, have you guys seen Elon Musk out in public? He went to like some meeting and he was carrying his son on his shoulders, and people were like, are you protecting yourself from possible assassination using your son as a human
Or
shield?
are you
Kinda
putting
smart.
your son up as a
Smart.
target?
Kind of smart. The smartest
It's
thing he's ever
giving
done.
target practice to me. I'm sorry. Like,
it's giving target practice, and also I don't actually give a fuck about my child enough. I'm gonna put them in the way
exactly.
of
It
any
is.
harm.
It's giving shoot him instead. He's easier.
Yeah.
No, I think
No, I think it is. He doesn't give a fuck about his children enough. He never sees them.
Wait, yeah. When is he ever?
I thought
been
he
this
was keeping his. I thought he was keeping Grimes's kids from her.
No.
If he is, it's simply because he's transphobic and Grimes' new partner is trans.
Wait, doesn't Graham? They only have one, right? Together.
I think they have two.
I thought that was
Together?
the whole
I
drama.
wanna say
Is
they have
that she's
two.
not allowed to see her kids.
I thought.
I think she is, but I don't think that she's getting any money from him.
Maybe that's what it.
Which
We don't
is-
know what we're talking about.
We have no idea.
We could fact check this mid conversation.
I don't really want to have to look that one up.
I don't even know what I would type in.
Grimes, baby,
Is
Elon.
Grimes allowed to see her child?
Does Grimes have
Who's in
custody?
of Grimes's kids?
Yeah. He also is not. He is saying that like one of his children is dead because they're trans. So he refers to them as being dead. He says they were killed by the woke mind virus, is how he refers to
This
it.
man is gonna have a government position. Actually, no, he's not. They're never gonna confirm him. It's never gonna happen. manifesting, guys.
Okay, this isn't answering my question, but there was a custody battle.
I feel like Elon Musk should be next. If anybody, any copycats want to do something real cool.
We would talk about it. We're not inciting anything.
No, this is just a joke. We're just joking.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening, we've never been serious ever. This is a joke.
Actually, everything we say on the podcast is a lie.
So true. This is all hyperbolic. This is all storytelling. You've never heard anyone say anything factual.
We're just practicing for our acting reels.
It's so true. I would be such a bad actor.
Dude, me too. I would just laugh.
Yeah, I would definitely just laugh. And I don't like the idea of having so many lights on me.
See, I'm a reality show's dream because, like, I say things and I do not, like, it does, like, I'll say things when we're recording and I listen back and I'm like, who the fuck, like, why would I ever think it's a good idea to say that?
Yeah.
Are we talking about the things that we've said on this pod that we regret?
No, like, I was saying I'm a reality show's dream because, like, I just talk.
Oh.
No matter what. Like, we're recording it, it's saved in the files and I'm still like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, we were saying if we would be good actors. I said I don't think I would be.
No, I'm not calculated enough. I'm not well planned enough. I tried looking it up and I got bored. So
yeah, we don't keep up with
like,
Elon like that.
No.
I don't really give two shits about him. Everything I hear about him is against my will. I have been blocked on the platform that he owns.
Me as well. I actually don't use the platform that he owns.
I still enjoy it.
Deactivated my X account a couple months ago whenever they changed the terms and I didn't want to read them because I didn't trust Elon, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think I've deactivated mine, but I just don't get on the app.
I have great it's curated so beautifully to me and my taste, so I still love using Twitter.
Okay. I think that's part of why I deactivated it is I'm kind of like trying to force myself off of it.
Yeah,
but like I need bitches to download Blue Sky.
Yeah,
I haven't opened it in a while.
Your one, what do you call them? Post, I guess. Your one post is hilarious.
What does it say?
I don't remember.
How do I make my timeline gay and communist?
So true. Truest thing I've ever said. Oh my gosh, TikTok might get removed. That reminded me.
You know, I'd probably be really a lot more productive without it.
Yeah, but it makes me sad because there's so it's great
so
resources.
I don't think it's gonna get removed. I think it's gonna get bought out by either Meta or Elon Musk.
Hope to God it's Meta.
Worse.
Yeah.
They just don't want anybody else to have our data. But like Meta has gone to court for wrongfully selling and using our data. But they're just an American company.
I think it's that we're organizing.
I would agree that they're using the data as like a front.
I think that it's both. I think that there's a lot of I've been seeing posts where it's like data is the new oil. Like there's so much to gain from having our personal data, which is why a lot of companies want it. And I do think that they're using it as a front to be like, oh, we don't want like other countries to have American data, but it's just because they want to own it. It's not because it's for safety purposes.
You know what else is crazy about that CEO? He was CEO of United. United just was one of the healthcare companies that got all of their data like hacked.
One other thing, one interesting effect of the murder of the UHC CEO, Anthem.
Shout out Anthem, y'all my insurers, knew you were right.
They were like, oh, in 3 states we're not going to cover anesthesia for a full procedure. And then after the assassination, they were like,
just kidding.
After further deliberation, we're going to roll back on these.
I think it was like an hour after the assassination.
It was so quick. Like they were like, oh, we're not going to cover full anesthesia for your procedure. If you are going through a procedure and our like coverage doesn't cover you, you're not getting it basically. And then an hour later, a couple hours later, they were like, actually, never mind.
Yeah. They were like, psych, just kidding, guys. Just a joke. Just
so
a joke.
True. It was only going to be in 3 states, but how fucking crazy is that? Mm-hmm. Like, would you have just woken up? What?
Yeah, imagine.
Yeah. And like my mom specifically, like she just convinced herself to do this surgery in January, I think. And she's going to have to be under anesthesia. So she immediately was freaking out. because she was like, oh my God. And like, it was hard enough to get her to do it already.
Yeah.
So now I was like, oh, these bitches.
I don't think California was affected, but I want to say it was Connecticut, New York, and another state.
I think Colorado.
I think so. A C state. But yeah, fucked up that they would have thought that would be a good thing to do in the first place.
Like, how is it our problem how long the anesthesia needs to be?
Yeah.
Like, we don't decide that. Like, I don't punch in, like, give it to me for 9 hours, please. Like,
yeah. It also varies on body weight, on like your health, different things. Like, I think if you smoke a lot of weed, you need more anesthesia because
You
like
do.
your body is like used to having, what is it called?
Like, essentially, like, it's something about your like receptors in your brain or something. You have a certain chemical tolerance to being sedated. So that is, I will say, if you smoke weed, you should always disclose it to your doctor.
Yes.
Even if you think they're going to judge you, I promise they won't. They can't even tell the cops if they wanted to. It violates HIPAA.
Yes, please be honest with your doctor always if you can. Obviously, that isn't always applicable, but to the fullest extent.
The worst they're going to be is judgmental, and it'll be fine. Just, you got to get through it, I promise.
Yeah.
Get the care you need.
Yes.
You don't want to wake up while you're cut open. That's not fun.
No, that would not be fun.
No spend 25?
Yeah. I'm on No Buy 2025 TikTok, and the first video I saw of it, I was like, wow, this is really extreme, but it's encouraging.
Yeah.
And then I just kept, like, I was bombarded by, like, a bunch of specifically women and femme people saying that they were going to do no buy or low buy 2025. And a lot of the things was just like basically getting rid of Amazon in its entirety. Because, like, really, truly, how many times a year do you need something like next day? Like, and if you need it that bad, like, chances are you can probably get it at like Target. So supporting Amazon less. Basically stop collecting things such as like makeup or like books you can get like through Libby, or like at your local library, whatever. Like, I don't know. Basically just your basic like food and clothing. Oh, a lot of people were gonna like stop buying clothing like altogether unless it's thrifting.
I would love to see that. I feel like the way that people consume is actually so fucking concerning. Like, I've been seeing a lot of I've seen a lot of content about Bagu, and a lot of people are like, what are we buying next, guys? Bitch, that's nylon. That was meant to last. Like, you shouldn't just be jumping on the next bandwagon.
I like the no like Amazon part as much as it could make my life harder for work. Other things like clothing or like collecting things, like, it's one of the only joys I have in life.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I just need like a little treat for myself. And like, yeah, you can like, I think I could like just push myself to like make more ethical choices on what I little treat myself with.
Yeah. I think that you can still purchase, but it should be more of a conscious purchase. I saw a post that was like, you should think about clothes as like a tattoo because it is permanent, even if it doesn't exist in our life permanently. Like, it's still going to exist somewhere. Like, if we donate it, it's going to go to a thrift store or the bins or a landfill, depending on the life cycle of the article of clothing. So just being more like intentional with our purchases, I think, could be a lot more helpful because I am privy to an impulse buy.
Yeah. I pretty rarely actually buy clothes from like stores. I'm a big thrifter, but every once in a while I will, like, buy a few things from like Urban. Target is really accessible to me, so if there is like a really cute dress or something from there, like, I will like buy some things from Target, but I could definitely do less. I watched a documentary on Netflix the other day called Buy Now, and it was about like overconsumption and like how garments never really disappear. They just get shipped to other places.
Yeah.
Even if you think that you're like donating garments, like a lot of them just end up in like Thailand or
Yeah, usually the global
like,
south, like
yeah.
places in South America.
Yeah, or like I think Ghana was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the images of like just clothes just seeping out of the earth was just really gross.
Yeah.
And a lot of our clothes that are like made now are polyester, which if you like the garment and you plan on keeping it for a long time, like that's great because polyester doesn't really like degrade.
Yeah.
But it's really bad if you like just bought it for like a micro trend and you don't plan on keeping it around.
Yeah.
Because it will just like never biodegrade, and if it does, it like quote unquote biodegrades into like microplastics. Like it doesn't actually ever disappear.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really sad.
I was just telling you guys how none of my jeans fit anymore, and like not in a cute baggy way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work up the confidence to go to a tailor and be like, can you make these fit me again?
Mm-hmm.
But walking in with like 10 pairs of jeans somewhere just sounds really daunting to me. But
Yeah.
that's like my type of social anxiety is new places. So
Yeah, especially new experiences that you're not used to. Like, I don't even know how I would go about seeing a tailor. Like, what is the process of that looking like?
they're also always like, not always, and I shouldn't say like, you know, I shouldn't generalize, but I feel like they are like pretty judgmental sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like when like I go somewhere and someone is not only like low-key mad dogging me, but they're also like talking to another employee either very quietly or in another language that I can't understand, and I'm like, you're bullying me over there, aren't you? You guys hate me, you want me to leave so bad, like, and then I'm like, I'll never come back here.
I think that's one daunting thing about small businesses in general, where sometimes if I'm going to a new place, I'm just like, I feel like you don't even want me here.
Yeah, like why do I feel like I'm intruding?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very quiet always.
Yeah.
Yeah. For big box stores, I think one thing that I've been doing this year more recently was just like waiting out the life cycle of a garment. So like I've been wanting this top from Urban for maybe like 4 months now, maybe 5 months. And it was $60, and it's been sitting in my like saved later like tab in the Urban cart for months, and then over the past few weeks it went from $60 to 30, and I was like, okay, it might get cheaper. And so I waited and it was $10.
Nice.
So just like waiting out the life cycle of fast fashion for me has helped a lot. Just like one, I get to think critically about this garment and whether I actually do want it. And it was sitting in my like cart for so long, obviously I did. And also getting it for cheaper. And it's still like trendy enough to where I like it. If it fits my style. It looks nice. But also I didn't have to spend that much money on it.
Cool. That's a life
Yeah.
hack.
Also, like if you're like looking for a very specific item, I feel like a lot of people are like, I'll never find that at the thrift. That's exactly where you're gonna find it because somebody already donated it.
Yeah.
So true.
I hate when people say, I'll never find it at the thrift. Like, yes, the fuck you will, because the thrift store isn't really vintage clothes anymore. It's like really, truly, it's recent stuff.
It's clothes from like 2020.
Yeah, because there's people overbuy so much there's trends of just donating everything that they don't like anymore.
Exactly.
They
A
go
lot of
through
stuff-
trends.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is still brand new with tags.
Yeah.
And
And no, go.
I was gonna say tariffs. I think with tariffs, more people are gonna be at
Yeah.
the thrift store anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
I fear that thrift store prices will be even more expensive than they already are, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
at least we're recycling clothes.
True. And like I feel like a lot of people are like very like scared of collecting clothes. But number one, if it's good quality, keep it for your kids or for like kids in the future. Like hopefully they still like vintage things in the future.
Yeah.
I think they will.
Get some vacuum sealed bags.
Mm-hmm.
Like there you can get bulk for really cheap and they can sit in your closet and they won't take up that much space.
Mm-hmm.
And you aren't just throwing them away because you'll probably want them again in a couple years when they're back in style.
100%.
Yeah.
There's so many clothes I got rid of when I was younger that I wish that I still have, that I still think about.
It makes me angry.
It makes me so angry.
Same.
But another thing that I was gonna say when it comes to like clothes, I think one thing that I've been thinking about is that it costs a lot more to be poor. So I've been a lot more intentional with my purchases, where I've been spending more, but I end up spending less. Like I For the most part, I've just been buying the same kind of Wrangler cargo pant for the past like 3 years, but they're cheaply like the material is cheap, so the inner thigh always wears after like 6 months. So I'm
Yeah.
always having to buy a new pair because even after I sew it, like the fabric is so thin that it just doesn't hold together anymore. Um, and so it costs more to be poor in the sense that I'm rebuying the same pair of pants instead of buying a nice pair of pants that will last me a lot longer.
Like some Carhartt.
Yeah, where I could have bought maybe like a $60 to $80 pair of pants, but instead I was rebuying multiple times the same $20 pair of pants. And the new Wranglers that I just bought are ass. So they remade them and they suck so bad. The zipper won't zip up all the way, so it always goes down.
No.
It fits differently. It doesn't feel as comfortable. It doesn't feel as like it's like much more form fitting in a way that I don't like.
That's your
Which is
sign.
really unfortunate. Yeah, so it's my sign. And also just like there's a lot of other aspects of like having to pay more for being poor. Like for example, I couldn't afford to get a different battery up until recently because my battery was like being super shitty for the past year. So I would have to like be late to work or I would have to like forego a day of work because my car is like acting up. But that meant that I missed out on work and pay and money that I could have gotten because I couldn't afford this one thing. And now that I have that one thing, we're fine. But just like having to pay more because you're poor, like that's such a common theme. So having to be more intentional with your purchases, like buying good quality pieces, I think is something that could help more in the long run.
Where'd you get your battery?
AAA.
I was gonna say, if you ever get a battery from Costco, it has a warranty.
They also have a warranty and they do free replacings. Like
Oh,
if you
okay.
need
So
it.
it's free for them to replace it or no? Why?
No, because I didn't get it through them. I got it through AutoZone initially.
Oh, I feel
Yeah.
like they would have a fucking. Should just take the battery and be like, please.
I thought about that, but I think AAA took my battery.
They did. I think they have to. It's
They do?
probably some like disposal law.
Oh, that's true, especially in California.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just being more intentional with your purchases this year, you guys.
Yeah, I haven't fully decided if I'm gonna do a no buy.
Yeah.
Definitely a low buy. I feel like I've already been kind of low buying.
I'm not doing it on purpose, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been trying to be more conscious of like how much I consume for the past few years.
Mhm.
But I think it's really encouraging seeing this many people doing like a full balls to the wall like no buy. So I might jump on the bandwagon in some ways. But I just haven't decided like where yet I want to cut out, because I also like I own a business. I have to buy certain things pretty regularly.
You own 2 businesses.
Yeah. Amazon is kind of crucial sometimes to some of those businesses.
It's for the niche things, you know?
Yeah. So, I'm trying to figure it out. But I encourage you guys, if you guys aren't on like that side of TikTok or the internet, maybe like look into it and see if it encourages you to cut out some.
Yeah. I think I'll try to just be more conscious in general because, like, anyone who knows me knows I have a shopping problem. Like, I just buy. So I just think I'm going to try to pay more attention, especially because I do want, like, a savings. That would be nice.
Yeah, having savings would be nice.
That would be pretty cool. Owning a home sometime in the next 20 years would be cool.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that it's good to aim high, to be like, I'm aiming for no buy, but if it goes to low buy, that's fine, rather than like aiming low.
I'm an all or nothing gal. I'm the type of like, oh, like I was working out every day and I missed one day and now I'm like, ah, fuck it. You know, it's
Yeah.
over. Like, we don't need to do that anymore. I'm a quitter.
Yeah. Well, that's my fear with like this, I guess you could call it a trend. Is like it almost kind of feels like a New Year's resolution for a lot of people. And I fear that a lot of people will like cave and then just like give up on the whole thing altogether. And I'm like, that's why I'm so like, I haven't decided if I want to commit to it yet, because like, I really do like, I try my best to stick to my New Year's resolutions. I'm a New Year's resolution girly. Like last year it was to practice bass all the time. And the only reason why I stopped practicing is because my goal was to save up to get a new base to like reward myself for practicing so much, and then something happened and I wasn't able to pay for like a new base. So I kind of lost my spark there, but it didn't happen until the end of the year. But I've been pretty on top of like my resolution, and so like if I do tell myself that I'm going to be like on a no buy situation, like I don't want it to just be like something that I'm like, you know, hot on the train for like 3 months and then be like, you know what, fuck it, like everyone else is buying this, this, and this, like I'm just gonna go back to my regular old, like, you know, habits.
I'm gonna aim low so that I can feel really proud of myself if I do better.
That's fair. I also think for us especially, like there are just like little treats that we need to get through. Like it's going to be really hard if you go from, obviously we don't have the luxury of buying anything we want anytime we want it. Like we obviously still do have to like wait and save and consider like our purchases, but I think it will be really hard if you just go cold turkey, because like you should still be able to enjoy your life and you should still be able to like do things that you want to do just in moderation.
Dude, I've been foaming at the mouth for my paycheck this Friday because I haven't been able to order food. Which is like my main little sweet treat I give myself, because I'm like, I'm too A, depressed, B, tired, C, lazy, D, something. I don't want to cook. I'm sorry. Like sometimes I'm not feeling it. Sometimes I'm not hungry enough to cook for myself, and then I just won't eat if I'm not going to order food.
And sometimes if someone else is in the kitchen making a meal, I'm just like, I don't really want to wait to cook, because then it's gonna, by the time I'm done making my meal, so then I'll just buy food.
That's but crazy. See, like I'm like literally like jonesing for like an Uber Eats, like Haley,
jonesing.
Like I could not. If I said to you guys like I'm doing a no buy 2025, like I would expect laughter. Because it's just not realistic for me. I'm gonna try my best. Like that's not me like excusing myself from this because I'm like I can't. But like the fact that I'm like it's been a week and a half.
Also, truly, it just is because where we live, like we would probably be going out more to eat, it, like even just at the drive-through and not getting it delivered if we lived elsewhere, like if we lived at a house or if we lived somewhere where parking wasn't atrocious.
Dude. Me and Ethan started doing that. We're like, okay, like if we want it that bad, we're gonna drive to it, and we fucking drive to it. Like it's not saving us any money because we're like, yeah, let's go, let's get it. Like we don't want to
saving like in the tip, in the fucking like delivery fees though.
The goal was to like not eat out anymore, and so we were like, yeah, we just won't order it. No, we're driving now.
But like that's good. I mean, convenience is great, but at the end of the day, like people didn't always have this level of convenience, and they used to just like go out and do the thing, or they would cook the meal, or you know.
Now I have a concern. What's gonna happen to all the poor Uber Eats drivers in our area? They're not gonna get my money anymore.
She's keeping them in business.
I am. I'm keeping some of these local businesses in business.
So true.
Plenty of people will continue.
Meal prepping makes it easier, I will say. But I DoorDash this morning, so I have literally no groceries. I don't have eggs. I don't have like any staples.
Fridge is bare.
The fridge is very bare. So I have a Target drive up and picking up after this. I still didn't get eggs because they canceled my eggs, but like I didn't have any of the essentials to make a meal. I was looking at the fridge and I was like, this fucking sucks.
I'm gonna start meal prepping. That's one of my goals for this year. Literally yesterday we made like a hash brown scramble breakfast thing.
That sounds good.
With like hot sausage and bell peppers in it, and obviously hash browns and egg, of course, and then cheese and some avocado. And then we just made a shit ton of it, and then I had that for breakfast. And you could roll it up, put it in a burrito, eat it with tortilla chips, whatever. But
I can't. I can eat the same thing as 2 times in a row.
I was just gonna say you can freeze your like you could maybe make 2 meal preps a week and then freeze them.
So my system now is I make food for me. This typically is when Ethan's working night, and then the rest of it I push on to Ethan. I'm like, did you eat the food? The food's still in the fridge. How dare you? And like, I'm not eating it.
You just don't want to.
I do that to Jacob too, because I don't really love leftovers. Like this morning's breakfast was like decent enough. Like but like a lot of the food that I cook is really saucy, or like meat. But like I don't really like those kinds of things left over.
Mhm.
Like if it's rice based, if it's like drier, then I don't mind eating it. But I am learning that leftovers kind of gross me out.
Yeah, I'm having like a really hard time like getting myself to eat right now anyways, just because I think it's the medication I'm on is like really killing my appetite.
Yeah.
So the thought of like just microwaving a meal that I've like already eaten just sounds like the worst thing in the world to me.
Yeah. There's just so many good foods in the world that like eating the same thing multiple times in a row is just kind of like, that's sad.
Yeah.
It makes me feel more poor.
Yeah, it does.
One thing I do like about meal prep is that I do feel a lot healthier. Because you eat, like, I'm more prone to eating vegetables if I'm making them the way that I like to eat them. I don't like balsamic vinegar, and a lot of places do like balsamic vinegar, veggies, everything, and I don't fuck with that.
I fuck
love
with
a
some
balsamic vinegar.
balsamic Brussels sprouts.
I don't.
Yeah.
I fear.
That's fair. I am trying to go into like eating more like high protein breakfasts.
Yeah, I've been really trying to have balanced meals. And I know that that's how I'm an adult because I'm like, well, I need to watch my fiber intake. I need to see how much protein I'm getting.
Yeah. I'm prioritizing protein. Maybe I'm going to start cutting out some sugar because I learned that diabetes, or not diabetes. Okay. Dementia is type 3 diabetes.
Really?
So it's like caused
Ugh,
by sugar, question mark?
I love sugar.
This could be false. I know it could also be genetic, but I feel like I am getting closer and closer to like becoming pre-diabetic.
Is it
But
like do you feel a difference?
Yeah, do.
Or is it just like paranoia because of
it's
the sweet
paranoia
treats?
because I have such a sweet tooth and I
Yeah.
consume so much sugar, and if it's not like straight up sugar, like sweets, then it's still carbs,
Yeah.
and I'm like really worried. And I know that a lot of that is just because like that's just how I was raised. Like those are the foods that I grew up on.
Yeah.
But it's kind of concerning because I'm like, I know that it's to a degree that like most people don't eat that many carbs or sugar.
Yeah.
And I also like a way for me to like I don't know if a way for me to like measure what's like normal or not is like I'm like, do Europeans do this?
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's probably not like a good like rule of thumb, but like genuinely, like I think a lot of unhealthy things are normalized in America.
Yeah.
That like really should not be normalized. And I'm like, damn, like are Europeans doing this, or like are native groups doing this, or like
Yeah.
you know. So anyways, I use that as like a measure, like is this safe, like
Yeah.
is this sustainable, and usually it's no. And then I'm like, well, maybe I should change this.
I think for me, one thing that sucks that I hate doing that actually does help like curb the sugar craving is having like healthy sugars, which isn't fun or exciting, but like when I haven't really been eating as clean as I would like to because I've been in like a homework hole and I haven't had a lot of time to like dedicate to meal prep the way that I was before. But I would do like yogurt with some fruit and granola and like cacao nibs, or I would do like peanut butter or apples with almond butter, and I feel like that has curbed the sugar like craving for later. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't really crave like a sweet later on if I had sugar early in the day.
Right. Smoothies really do it for me. Acai bowls really do it for me. Even oatmeal, like with peanut butter and like
Love.
whatever. So good. Yeah.
I think like the places that did all the COVID tests, I think you can get blood work there without insurance if you wanted to.
Really?
Obviously, like I could be talking out of my ass, but like, you could also get probably Medi-Cal for like just a little. I don't know if that costs money a month. I've never looked into it.
I'm gonna have Kaiser in the new year.
Okay, cool.
Yay.
Yeah.
But that's usually covered. Maybe you have a copay. But
Yeah.
I feel like that would definitely help your anxiety because I truly believe that people from different like backgrounds, like your genetic makeup, process different types of food groups differently. Like I do think certain, even like races, I think certain races like metabolize like carbs better than others.
Yeah.
Like I'm Irish, you know, like
that makes sense to me.
Yeah, you're used to eating potatoes.
Potatoes and carbs, like that's my shit.
Yeah.
That's what sustained your peoples.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense to me. I don't know like scientifically if that's true, but I think that makes like more sense than anything.
I've always said that because I think that's why Ethan struggles with wheat.
Yeah.
Is because number one, he is a native to Mexico from his DNA.
Mhm.
And then I believe he's also part Native American.
Yeah.
But both of those like relied heavily on like corn
Yeah,
for like
not a lot of wheat eating.
yeah, like a lot of
Mhm.
like corn bread products there. So I think that like it does make sense to me, and like a doctor could tell me I'm wrong and I'd still believe it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's true. Like a lot of indigenous to Americas and also like a lot of East Asians
Mhm.
are lactose intolerant because we
Yeah.
didn't like our peoples didn't consume dairy like that. At least
Yeah.
cow dairy.
Usually goat.
Yeah, usually goat does better on the tummy, but
Yeah.
so I think yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But I'm mixed, so I don't know which my DNA prefers as far as like what I would eat, like what's safer for me to eat. But I have like a stomach made of iron. Like I don't really have a lot of like sensitivities as far as like what my body tells me
Yeah.
is wrong for me. So I don't know.
People at work, they keep asking me what I'm doing to lose weight. And I can only say nothing so many times before it makes me want to cry and be like, I actually have stomach issues and I can't eat here, and everything I do here makes me anxious. Please stop asking me.
When I've been at my poorest, that's when I lose weight because I can't afford to eat. And I would just tell people, they'd be like, "Oh my god, you look good! Like, are you losing weight?" I would be like, I haven't been able to afford to eat," and then they get uncomfortable, and it's like,
Good.
Why do people think that
What are you asking?
Why do people think that they should comment on the fact that you've lost weight? Because now I'm thinking that you thought I was fat.
no, exactly.
Right.
Like, okay,
And like, first of all, people shouldn't be saying that at work regardless. Like, what's wrong with you people? Why are you commenting on your coworkers' weights?
yeah. Why
1,000%.
are you aware?
And I get, I get the woman like culture of like being like, oh my god, like what are you doing for your diet? Like the like the older people's in their 30s and 40s, but like
Yeah,
keep that shit out of here.
Mm-hmm.
keep it to yourself. Inside thoughts.
Yeah. When I was vegan, I lost a ton of weight, but the way that I was vegan was very restrictive.
Yeah.
Not saying that being vegan in general is like going to make you lose weight or like I don't know, whatever.
When I was vegan, I
wasn't
ate
eating enough.
Oreos.
Yeah. I ate chips and salsa.
Yeah.
Like that's it. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I've been there. I get grossed out by meat often.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when we were when I was listening to the last podcast. I do have to have a lot of like lean meats. I don't like meats. Just I'm prone to getting grossed out by them.
Yeah. How's your red meat consumption going?
I had birria. It
Didn't
it
really
could
do
be
it
the
for you.
onion. Like, granted, like behind all of this red meat issue, like I was born with acid reflux and I've had tummy issues my whole life, and like
Oh, I
onion's
see.
like one of the worst things for me.
Oh.
Like, not like it's also like garlic and like fucking like any type of like spice.
Yeah. I don't fuck with raw onion. I don't like raw onion on my tacos.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of fuck with it. I like the crunch, but my tummy didn't feel great. It also
Yeah.
could have been the massive amount of cheese that was on them,
That's true.
Yeah.
which I'm not a big, you guys know this, I'm not a big like stretchy cheese person, which kind of grossed me out.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But then I made like a frozen meal from Trader Joe's. I can't remember which one. But that kind of also upset my tummy, which again is going back to me thinking like it's just like a lower quality of meat.
Yeah.
But other than that, I've been fine. But Ethan hasn't cooked me a steak since we podcasted last because
Sad.
we're both broke.
Yeah. Steaks are expensive.
I get paid in 2
So
days, you
expensive.
guys.
Steak dinner on Friday. Hopefully.
Hopefully, cross my fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slay. Yeah, I have to be better about meal prepping soon because when I can like tell when I'm eating more sodium and more sugar. Like I've been having a lot of iced coffees lately, which is not great for you to have on a normal basis. So I can like definitely see it in my face. No one comment on the way that I look.
Okay.
But my face is rounder lately.
My client gave me a life hack, which I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. It's so simple and so like duh.
Uh-huh.
But espresso with a protein shake. Make a latte out of it.
I wish I had an espresso machine. I just can't do it at home.
Can you do like instant espresso?
You can.
I don't know.
I think you
Like
can
Cafe
use
Booste.
the mocha thing.
I've never used it for. I don't think I've ever used a mocha pot in general. I'll have to look into that.
I don't either, but it's been there.
Okay. Instant espresso. I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's powder. It dissolves really quickly.
It'll curb the craving. Yeah.
Yeah, and like when it's mixed in with like a protein shake, like it's a latte. Like you won't be able to tell how shitty the espresso is.
Yeah.
I want to try it. I don't have any what's it called? Protein shakes yet,
Yeah.
but it's on my grocery list.
I think I might have instant espresso at home. I've used it in baking. It's a really nice way to activate cocoa powder.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that. Just doing stuff at home is always healthier too, versus like going to places that have a ton of like additives and stuff.
It never fucking tastes as good.
Yeah. It doesn't taste as good. It's the only bad thing. I went to Tierra Mia right before I came here, and I had the Mexican mocha, and that shit was so good.
Oh, I love Tierra Mia.
Mm-hmm.
I just fully feel like I could get the same exact ingredients and do the same recipe at home, and it's still not going to taste the same.
It never does.
Yeah.
And I give up trying because I'm just spending money to not like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at buying an espresso machine for Christmas for the commune. Because I think that's how we're going to do Christmas this year, is just like commune Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Like household appliances and shit.
I don't think we're doing any gifts.
No.
Yeah. Okay. But I have like a Nespresso. It's very simple. It does the job.
I should have checked for Black Friday.
Yeah.
We had one.
We did?
Yeah, I had one for the longest time. Like, I just never bought the pods for it.
Oh, okay.
And I kept it for a really long time. And then finally, maybe you weren't living there yet, but I thought you were.
Maybe I wasn't. I don't know.
I was like, all right, guys, last call for the Nespresso. Like, I'm going to get rid of it. And I think I just put it in the alley and someone took it.
Wow.
I must have not been living there yet, because I've always wanted an espresso.
It was just the single pod,
Mm-hmm.
like very bottom line basic one.
That's what I have.
They're not that bad if you really wanted one.
They're not that bad.
We could make room on the coffee bar.
I'll have to look, because I feel like the lattes are the only one, like that's the thing that gets me, is like needing a little coffee, like needing a latte. And I can never make my drip coffee taste that good. And I don't always want coffee. I want like a latte.
Yes.
That's my issue.
There's a difference.
There's a difference.
I want a latte machine.
There's a reason why you pay $8 for it.
Yeah.
The milk at home isn't the same ever.
No. They have like barista milks at fucking grocery outlet.
It's got to be the way they pour it or something. I don't know. It's different, you know?
I don't know. Jacob, teach us, please.
Wait, does Jacob
I was
ever
a
make
barista
coffee at
for
home?
like 3 months. Huh?
Does he ever make coffee at home?
No, and like when he goes to coffee shops, he only drinks like drip.
Oh.
He always drinks it black, right?
Yeah. Sometimes he'll get like an iced Americano.
Yeah.
But
what a man thing.
Yeah, I've noticed a lot of people who also like work at coffee shops really love black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Like never, like pretty rarely they'll get like a latte.
Well, because they're having like coffee the way you're supposed to. Like it's the right temperature, the right amount of time they're doing it for, that jazz.
It's funny. He'll only order a latte if he knows that the coffee shop that we're at makes like shitty espresso. Because he's like, well, I'm not going to get an iced Americano because that's espresso.
Yeah, and it's just going to taste like the shitty espresso.
Yeah. So he's like, well, if I just get a sugary little latte, like, then it doesn't matter how shitty, like how bad the espresso is.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Yeah, that's my go-to plan at Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Dunkin' is so ass, I fear.
It's so bad no matter what I do.
I love it.
It's so ass. I love it.
I love it. You have to know how to order your drink because
but it never tastes the same.
so customizable. That's true.
See, but like I could get the exact same drink and like say I get like 4 pumps of sweetener or whatever. That's a lot actually. But I'm like, oh,
Depends on how big the drink.
But I'm like, oh, too sweet, right? So next time I get it, 3 pumps and I'm like, not sweet enough.
Yeah.
No matter what I do, it's never right.
That's fair.
I'm obsessed with those videos of the Dunkin' workers showing how much sugar is in the drinks. Like someone will order like 20 sugars and like 10 pumps of caramel, and half the drink is like syrup and like literal sugar. I'm obsessed with it.
Oh, my stomach like quivers.
No, because how is it half syrup? What do you mean?
I can taste the texture of syrup in my drink, and that's why I can't drink Dunkin'. I think it's almost like slimy.
Yeah.
Sludge.
It is.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
anything else, guys?
No, I have a lot of homework to do.
I have to pee and I'm hungry and I have to cook.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, later, haters.
Bye.
Later, haters.